Welcome to our podcast, Life According to Lisa.
Sometimes Jim says one or two words.
Yeah, okay. Today's episode is In Pizza We Crust.
You guys ever watch Ted Lasso and Danny Rojas runs around and yells, "Football is life"? Well, guess what? Pizza is life.
So whether you grew up in Brooklyn, Chicago, Los Angeles, or some tiny town in Kansas, everybody has a pizza story.
Yeah, we're going to give you a slice of life, a pizza slice of our lives.
Yes. So, pizza growing up.
Yes,
Let's
pizza.
start there. Let's start grammar school age.
Yes, I used to go
Growing up pizza.
every other day. Never, not every day, but every third day, I would go to the pizzeria, the House of Pizza of Calzone on Union Street between Hicks and Columbia. And
Yes.
what happened in those days, nobody was afraid of being abducted by aliens when they went to school. So like you were in the third grade, a bunch of us would go.
We all walked around.
We all walked to get to the pizzeria because it was safe.
Everybody went to the pizzeria after school.
Right. And, and then after school.
I mean, I don't know if that's what they did in other places, but in Brooklyn, after you went to school, you went to the pizzeria.
Yes.
Or during lunchtime, you went to the pizzeria.
Yeah, sometimes you see these TV shows and they'll go to the diner or they'll go to the malt shop and the old ones,
There was a pizzeria across the street
But
from St. Athanasius.
and in Brooklyn, we all went to the pizzeria. And in those days, as I told when I gave the little speech in the church, the pizza was 10 cents a slice. This is how old I am. It was 10 cents a slice and the little purple drink was 5 cents. So for 25 cents, you were the king of the world. Not on a Titanic. No, I was standing in front of the table with a piece of pizza in front of me going, "I'm the king of the world."
Don't touch my slice.
Yes. So that's true. So, but pizza is life. I mean, we love pizza. Every kind of event.
I want to know who doesn't like pizza.
There are people that don't like pizza. They're very weird. And they should be shunned and
I've seen
shamed.
people take the cheese off a pizza
Yes,
and then
yes.
eat it.
Or you
Like,
could be an
why
idiot.
are you getting it?
Or you could
Just
be
get a piece of dough.
right. Or you could be an idiot like Bill de Blasio and eat it with a knife and fork. Right off the bat, he's not a New Yorker. He doesn't belong
Pick
on
it
this
up,
earth.
fold it in half, and shove it in your
Eat
mouth.
right. Eat it like a normal person. Okay. So pizza. Originally, what happens with pizza was it was really a feature of Italian American life. So Italian American life on the East Coast, Brooklyn, Manhattan, every place like that. It was what we grew up with. It was our food. Now. What happened is after World War II, and a lot of soldiers went over to Italy and served in that theater of conflict, and they brought back the love of pizza to all over the country, and it became a thing, not just in New York. And then entrepreneurs went and started pizzerias all over. By the 1970s, almost every town had its own little pizzeria. Mm-hmm. The famous story, Ray Kroc found this hamburger stand in California, and he wanted to copy their method of doing things, right? And he bought those guys out. And in a movie about Ray Kroc, they show it. But then when he went with his friend, and he said, "Hey, I want you to invest." And he said, "Nah, I like my ice cream. I'm going to stay with it." That was Tom Carvel.
Yeah.
And Tom Carvel did really well, but he's not McDonald's. And similarly, guys did pizzeria chains. They started to open up more corporate. But we'll get back to that in a little while.
Corporate versus mom and pop pizza.
But Lisa, when you were a kid, your mom made the pizza out of English muffins, right?
That was a treat.
Yes.
Now, my dad was a fireman, so there were times when he worked at night. So he ate dinner at 4:00.
Right.
We had dinner later.
Yes.
And my mother would make something
Quick.
simple
Right.
and quick for
Yes.
us, right?
Yes.
And how exciting. English muffin pizzas. How
Yeah.
many people had that? That was amazing.
Yeah, pretty much you slap tomato sauce and mozzarella on anything, and it feels like a pizza, right?
But it was on an English muffin with the
Yes.
nook and crannies.
Now, what my mom used to do, she did that, but we didn't even buy English muffins because we were poor. So we had the crescent rolls from Pop and Fresh that you hit on the side of the counter, and it opened up, and you ripped it, and you pulled apart all the dough, and you flattened it out, and you put the pizza sauce and the cheese on it. Pepperoni, what the hell is pepperoni? I had no idea what that was until I was like in my teens. Right. We didn't really get pepperoni or anything like that. We weren't really big on the.
But that was my
toppings.
mother making English muffin pizzas. My grandmother made pizza dough.
Well, what my uncle
and
used
made the pizza from scratch.
Yeah, we didn't do that only because it was labor intensive to the point that she didn't want to be bothered, because what we used to do, And I did it to this day, even when Lisa and I first got married. I would go to the pizza store and actually buy a pizza dough from the guy.
Dough.
Just buy the dough. And then I would make a pizza or other things like apple turnovers or whatever using the pizza dough.
Like a stromboli.
Stromboli, whatever. But you could buy, we used to be able to buy the dough from the pizzeria. Just go in and say, hey, Gloria Pizzeria, I need 3 pizza doughs. My mom needs it. And you would get it. Nowadays, you probably have to have it's probably behind glass, like in the,
right.
place.
But pizza came from, instead of thinking like dinner, it was like a treat.
Yes.
And then it was also this quick way to pick up dinner
Well,
without having to cook anything, without having to use the kitchen. Ordering pizza was like an easy dinner.
A couple of things about that.
So like the English muffin pizza, you still cooked it. You still made the sauce.
Yes.
You still did that.
Right. Here's how Lisa and I are different, okay? Because I don't order pizza. I go to the freaking pizzeria and I stand there and I watch him make it. And then I get it hot out of the oven and I take it home. I don't wait for some guy driving around calling his girlfriend, scratching his ass, and then he comes and brings me my cold pizza. No. I go to the pizzeria and I get it piping hot and I bring it to our table because that's the way it's supposed to be.
Okay. I don't order pizza either.
No, I understand. And what was great about pizza, that's why it wasn't so bad for Lent for me, because if it was Lent and there was no meat, we got pizza.
Yeah, we had pizza.
Or macaroni and cheese, which I also like, but usually
the
pizza.
Was like a treat. So
Right.
it's like you're supposed to be suffering. Meanwhile, you're having great
Yeah,
pizza.
we're having pizza. Oh, man, yeah, I'm really sad. I want to repent my sins, but give me another
really
slice,
like that
please.
guy.
Yeah, that Jesus, he was okay. He invented pizza, probably.
But I remember
I bet Jesus invented pizza. He probably did that.
it's possible.
Back in the day of the Egyptians and the ancient
put it on, like, the
Hebrews,
pita bread or
no,
something.
yeah, well, what they had was they had flatbread. So flatbread was what they ate, probably at the Last Supper. And all of those times they had flatbread, unleavened
But they could
bread.
have used olives and
Yes,
tomatoes.
yes.
They could have made a caponade and put
Can't
it
you just
on-
see him
on
at the Last Supper going, "Can I have a grandma pie, please?" What is this? Go to L&B. Why are you giving me this?
I like the cheese on the bottom, not
Wouldn't
the
it have been
top.
something if instead of the loaves and the fishes, he says, pass that pizza around, and it just kept multiplying?
Yes.
That's the kind of
Never-ending pizza.
Yes, if I was gonna
Never-ending pizza is a big deal.
do Bible stories for kids, that's what I would do. I would change it to
Change
pizzas.
it to pizza.
So
The fish, I mean, who's going to...
yeah, really, a leech. You don't want a leech.
like worry about the bones and
My
whatever.
friends that were real Italian, they wanted a leech, which is what you call it, anchovies.
With the anchovies on it.
Now, anchovies, to me, Lisa's allergic. Anchovies do give an interesting taste, okay?
Usually you blend it in.
Yes, it's blended. It's not like a whole piece of anchovy because that's a little bit too much. But when you mix it up and you grind it up and you put it in, it gives it a very interesting flavor.
Well, if you haven't Caesar salad, you wouldn't even know there was anchovy
And
in there.
that was a relic of the days of the Roman Empire, because the Roman Empire, what they did, they put fish sauce on everything. That was a big thing. If you look at what the Romans actually
That's
ate.
why Trader Joe's had chocolate-covered sardines.
Yes, and we said, is that really true?
Is that chocolate-covered sardines?
Is it chocolate or is it really?
chocolate, or is it chocolate on top of a sardine?
Yes,
like
we
I
were
had to pick up the box and read it because I was very confused.
Yeah, we were perplexed about that one. I must admit. So just a quick.
These are the things that happen when we go out shopping.
So just to quickly delve into a little bit of the history of pizza. Pizza, when it first started, as I mentioned, flatbreads was a feature of dining in the Egyptian and the Babylonian and the Hebrew and all of those old-timey guys, and all the way up to the Roman Empire. But then the Romans came out with focaccia. How do you say that?
Focaccia?
Focaccia, yes. Focaccia.
Focaccia.
Focaccia. That's like something you could yell at somebody when they do something wrong and have no
And they
idea what
won't
you're
know.
saying. Hey, focaccia.
They're
And they're like,
"Oh,
whoa.
he's cursing me out.
Hey, what did he
I
call
just
me?
called you a piece of bread.
Yes, exactly. And focaccia was like the beginning of the embryonic stage of pizza, okay? Because pizza then later became popular. And what happened all through the years, all through the medieval times, there was certain sort of things that could have kind of sort of been pizza, but not exactly, except what happened in 1890, Lisa.
1890.
In
We're
1890,
rolling back.
they had a big party for Queen Marguerite of Savoy in Italy. And what
I
did
know
they
where
say?
this is
The guy
going.
said, I'm going to invent a pizza pie with all the colors of the Italian flag.
Yes.
And I'm going to call it in honor of Queen Margherita and call it the Margherita pizza. Mm-hmm. With the mozzarella sauce and the basil.
Yes. Oh, yum.
Right?
I didn't eat lunch yet, so I'm starving right now. And
So-
I have like a energy bar sitting here, and that's not going to cut it.
So that era, the late 1800s and into the beginning of the 20th century, was really the real beginning of pizza's popularity. So there was a place in New York. There were 2 pizzerias already open, but there's not a lot of information about them.
Well, we did learn all about this on the pizza tour.
Yes, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But Lombardi's was a pizzeria down on Spring Street, okay? And it was at 53.5 Spring Street. And this guy, Gennaro Lombardi, worked in a pizzeria, it is said, it is rumored. You know, all of this is nebulous because we don't really have any real records of it. Right? They have records about all nonsense that really cares about the Civil War. We want to know how pizza was invented.
There should be a pizza museum.
I think there should be a pizza detective that should figure this all out.
And then a pizza museum.
Yeah, why did these presidents
I want to go to a pizza museum, learn all about, see all the different pizzas, taste all the different pizzas.
Yes. Why did all these presidents have to have presidential libraries? Don't spend billions of dollars on that. Have a $1 billion pizzeria library.
I think it would have a line out the door.
Yes. So Mr. Lombardi, he decided to open up a pizzeria on 53 Spring Street. And he had it up until 1984 when they switched it. Okay, they had to leave, and they went to 30 to 32 Spring Street. And what happened was, when we were on this pizza tour, they explained that they lost the lease or whatever happened. They had to move. So they went to a place that happened to formerly be a bakery. And they took over the bakery spot, and they had a coal-fired oven. Now, there are different types of pizzas. There's wood-fired, coal-fired, and a normal gas one that's almost everybody else uses pretty much. And what I think a lot of this, going back to one of our previous podcasts, pretension versus plot. Some people are very pretentious. Oh, this is coal-fired pizza. This is wood-fired pizza. It's pizza. You're cooking pizza. A regular pizzeria has a regular oven. You don't have to go crazy. You know what I mean? But fine. That's the selling point, that it's coal-fired. So we went to that little pizza.
We've had coal-fired. It's fine.
Yeah, it's all great. It's pizza. It's fine.
It gets a little more blackened.
Right. Well, it's very hard to be precise when you're working with that. It's a catch can. So if you get a guy that's good, it's great. But if his idiot cousin is there at 2:00 in the afternoon and he burns it, not so good.
Now, the restaurant pizzeria. It wasn't a pizzeria. It was a restaurant.
On Smith Street.
Yeah, that place. It's after the town name. I can't remember.
I don't remember either. But it was. We were very friendly with the people, and they had coal-fired pizza.
Yeah, that was good.
And it was very tasty. Now, some people think coal-fired.
Did Hanley's have coal-fired?
No,
ovens?
I don't think so. No. So it could have. I could be wrong, as I am often on these shows. So you don't have to hold me to it, because what the hell do I know? But the idea of it coal-fired is good. I mean, it gives a nice tasty crust, and that's the also thing.
Wait, what about Marco Polo next door?
Marco Polo
He has
has a coal-fired pizza. Yes, I believe.
It's not the restaurant Marco Polo. It's the
Enioteca, which is next door, where he has a great pizzeria.
We used to eat that pizza a lot.
And we love that place. If you have a chance to go
We're
there.
right across the street with our store.
Yeah,
so we were there a lot.
Yeah, it's on Court between Union and President, and it's excellent food there. You'd love it.
I just saw on Instagram that he has merchandise now. He has tote bags, and he has his sauce and all the stuff he's selling.
Yes. Marco's an entrepreneur.
I'm very excited for him.
Yes, I'm very
Shout
happy.
out to Marco Polo.
Yes.
Marco
Polo. So what happened was, Lombardi's opened up, and he had the idea of he was going to make pizza, and he was going to sell it to the working guys that went to the docks and worked over there, and he would have it in a little string tied up, and guys could come in and order to get the pizza. They didn't have pizza boxes in those days, right? But they loved it, and it became more and more popular. But once again, it was
how the pizza box came into play.
That's a good question. I wonder if someone ever did any research on that. I don't know. I would love to know how that worked.
I have to write pizza box history, and maybe we'll pick that up on another.
Well, the whole idea of packaging is very interesting to me. We had this discussion about packaging when we talked about the ubiquitous vinyl shopping bag that Bertie Rubino carried in the book, The Brooklyn Witch, which you should buy from Amazon.
Or go to thebrooklynwitch.com and you can order a signed copy from the website.
Yes, there won't be a piece of pizza in it, unfortunately.
He
But
wants to add a meatball, but
or even a slice of pizza.
How am I going to put a piece of pizza with the book?
I don't know. Maybe we could bottle some of Jim's special
Would
pizza
have to
sauce.
freeze it. Would have to have.
Well, maybe my
ice,
special
dry
pizza
ice.
sauce, or I put in a thing of English muffins and a pizza sauce.
Or we just take a piece of pizza and stick it in a mason jar.
Yeah, something like that. That's what, and then there's another thing on Star Trek. The guy comes and he calls and he gets this Sumerian brandy, and I would go and say, I want a pie and a calzone and one of the grape drinks
soda
and a grape soda that came from the thing that had the grape and the orange and the cherry. I want that. You think the computer could do that for me? AI, are you listening to me? AI, please see if you can work that out for me. For when I'm on the Starship, I want that. Okay. So Lombardi's.
But I don't know. It won't be the same when you see the guy throwing the pizza dough up in the air and he's like spinning it around and he's making the pizza.
Yeah,
the AI is not going to do that.
You know what you call that? A show off. That's not necessary. I don't like any of that stuff. That's for tourists. I want a pizza. The guy gets the pizza. He gets it out. He kneads it. He pushes it out. He rolls it out. He puts the cheese on. He puts the sauce on. He puts the cheese on. He puts maybe the pepperoni and the mushrooms on. And now, I used to love mushroom, but I stopped.
I want fresh mushrooms.
Yeah, I want fresh mushrooms, so I can't deal with that.
And they're very expensive to get fresh mushrooms.
Well, yeah.
Fresh mushrooms from a pizzeria.
Well, the fancy
Some of them will do
the
it.
fancy places like Enioteca or other places have fresh
have
mushrooms,
it.
yes. But a lot of them don't. But so everybody loves pepperoni. Pepperoni's the greatest. So what happened was Lombardo's in 1984
the
switched.
made it greasier. Now when I was going to say something about the plate, because when you first got the pizza, you didn't get a plate. You just got wax paper.
Right.
And you folded it in half and you had wax paper.
Right.
Then you got the paper plate.
Right.
That came in and that held all the oil that dripped out.
Right.
You still some places you had to tilt the pizza and
get
let
the
all
oil
the
off.
oil
Yes,
off.
there's a lot of oil on it. Yes,
You
and I like an oily pizza. That's true. You just have to be careful when you eat it.
Because you were going to wear it.
And the other point is, if you get a pizza when it's really hot out of the oven and the cheese and the stuff
If the first bite burnt your tongue,
yes,
you were screwed. You didn't enjoy the pizza after that.
Yes, and not only that, it didn't hold together. You have to get that perfect moment.
First bite has to crunch and be able to bite off the whole corner without it stringy.
So the pizza has to.
So it has to cool down a little.
Yeah,
bit.
it has to cool a little bit and it has to congeal a little bit.
Yes.
But that happens if you, as I do, go to the pizzeria, get it cooked, take it yourself, and go home, and it's just perfect
Then
to
it's
eat.
perfect by the
It's
time you
ready
get
to
home.
go, right? But then, of course, when we lived in Brooklyn, we were only like 3 or 4 blocks away from a pizzeria. It's not 30 miles like it is here in Oceanside.
I know. Plus, half of them aren't even open.
Yeah.
They're looking for perfectionism.
Right. So the pizzeria, the different
The reason
styles.
why I said that, why?
Why?
It's the name of that place that everybody's complaining about. The sourdough guy.
Oh, okay. Well, this guy opened up a fancy
How could you have a
pizzeria
business and be closed for
on
2
Long
months?
Beach Road called, what's the name of it, Lisa?
I said to look at the sign as we drove by.
Via Kuma.
Yes. That's
Right. So right off the bat, that's an unfortunate name that people can make fun of. I think when you pick a name for your business, you shouldn't really call it, like certain.
Don't get away from the name. Move on. Just move on. I'm
Well,
pressing the button.
It's like Dick's Sporting
Fast
Goods.
forward.
I wouldn't pick that name. All right, sorry. I think he
call
had
it
an
Richards.
Yes, or his last name, so whatever. But that was an unfortunate pick, and this is also.
We're talking about this guy had an investor.
Yeah, he had a very good. Supposedly, he has a very good restaurant in another town on Long Island, maybe Lynbrook or someplace like that. And then he got an investor, and he opened up in a place on Long Beach Road, and he was open for like a month. And supposedly, the pie was like $50 or $30, $40. So I get different stories from every different person that
The
says.
price was on the menu. So
It was
if you
ver-
order a $48 pie, you're going to pay $48 for that pie.
Yes,
You make that decision.
correct.
The
But-
end. That's all I have to say about that.
Like anything else, when you offer that, yes, there are stores like Louis Vuitton that you go into, and it's
And
a
you
lot
know
of
that
money.
it's sourdough and you're getting imported ingredients.
Right,
If you want that, you'll pay for it.
right.
And you can't complain later.
Yes.
It's all written out.
Right. But as I discussed before, when you're opening up a business, you have to say, how many times am I going to turn over the table, or how many times am I going to sell a pizza? Now, if I have right now, pizza is going for like $25, $30, which is crazy to me. But like $25. We recently had a pizza party in a house, and we went for the bill, and everybody went nuts.
It was $300.
Yeah, it was crazy. So pizza has gotten very expensive.
It's not. Let's just get a. What was it? A $12 pie?
Yeah, $12 pie.
$9 pie.
$9, yes. Or back when I was a kid, it was like $5, really, and it was ridiculous, you know. But for $5 was a lot of money in those days.
It was a treat, but it wasn't so outrageous the way it is now.
Right. So this guy's idea, I guess, is that he's going to make up with quality for quantity, and I don't think that really works in a business. You want quantity as well as quality. So you can have a quality product, but you have to sell a lot of it if you want to survive, and it always has to grow. Mm-hmm. You know, like any business, when it first opens
he doesn't have a gluten-free, so I'm not going there.
Yes, we're not going there. Gluten-free is another whole ball of wax that we have to deal with, but we'll get to that later. So,
we're talking about when I ate regular pizza with wheat.
So right around COVID time, unfortunately, Lombardi's had to leave and close up, and they went to another different location, but they had to give up their title of the longest continuous pizzeria in operation to Papa's Tomato Pies in Trenton, New Jersey, which is supposedly since 1910 or something.
Oh,
They've
wow.
been open the longest.
Mm-hmm.
But basically,
Manhattan's real estate is hard to deal with compared to that place in Jersey.
Right. So what happens is it was an East Coast phenomenon. It was an Italian-American phenomenon. And then it spread out all over the place. And then like anything else, corporations got involved. So all places like Papa John's and, Domino's became a thing. And what's really always made me laugh about Domino's, that intrigued me, was about they didn't really talk about the taste of the pie or whatever, because to me it's basically you could eat the box instead of the pie and get the same taste. But they always talked about, when they originally came out, how quick you could get it. You know, if you don't get it within half an hour, you don't pay.
Right.
And that was like the thing. And so when it first came out, we said, oh yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to order. This is great. You know, it's going to come right away, and we don't have to go.
Everybody wanted a free pizza.
And we couldn't actually go to the pizzeria. And then it came, and it was like cardboard. It was the most disgusting thing ever. Now, it's improved a little since then, but it's still pretty disgusting. I know we went to a party.
I mean, the people, I believe, that order Domino's that I know they already had food, they're already drunk, and then
they're drunk or high, and they're
lazy.
lazy.
Could you get at 2:00 in the morning?
Yes.
Because the family pizzerias are closed.
Yeah.
So you buy it from the fast food one.
I don't even think the ones that were open that late in Long Island are not.
Well, in general.
Right. I think
that's where they can order more food from when everyone's drunk and they want something.
Well, Lisa and I when we watch television commercials and they have like Little Caesars or whatever, and we look at the pizzas and we say, wow, that looks remarkably disgusting.
The shredded pepperoni.
Yes, it's like really.
That one really
I don't
got
think
me.
so.
I'm sorry, that looked really horrible.
Yeah. So
and don't add things on your pizza. Like, don't stop putting chicken and stuff on your pizza. That's not what a pizza is.
Right. It's not what a pizza is. Because what happens is people want to change something that's good. You ever notice that in life? They said, oh, I love this particular ice cream, or I love this pizza, but I'm going to make it different because I'm the best. So I'm going to put, chicken livers on it or whatever nonsense that they do. Mm. So now we're talking about the pizzerias that we love and all the pizzerias that we used to go to. So what are some of the ones that you want to talk about, Lisa?
Well, I mean, the pizzerias that I went to as a child, there was a pizzeria near St. Athanasius. There was two of them that we used to go to for lunch or after school. But the one that we used to all go after school when we got a little older was Roberto's Pizzeria on East 3rd and Avenue M.
Right.
And everyone would go there. And it was funny because it was this big, just think this big square.
Right.
And there were tables on the left, and then there were tables on the right. If you went to the left, you had to sit in the pizzeria.
Right.
Or the restaurant, you sat at these tables.
Right.
But it was the same section. There was just like two different sections of tables.
Right.
The pizzeria and the restaurant. And we used to go there for pizza after school. They, of course, had the grape soda, the orange soda,
Right.
all the traditional things. I think it was 65 cents.
Yeah.
At that time.
Right.
So that was like a fun hangout. Everybody was in there,
Yeah,
uniforms from school. Everybody was in there.
I was giving you the 1964 prices.
Yeah, I know. I'm bringing it into
Lisa's.
the 70s.
I'm a little bit older than Lisa, so it was a little bit different.
But then high school, we had to sneak out of high school because we weren't allowed to leave the building, Murrow, everyone on Murrow, and you'd have to sneak out to go to Avenue M to Pronto's Pizzeria.
Right.
And everybody used to hang out in there because, of course, you were smoking cigarettes at the time in the pizzeria.
Yes, we were
So there was,
smoking cigarettes.
There was cigarette smoking.
And
there was
cigarettes
pizza eating. The jukebox was there playing all 70s music.
And notoriously, smoking cigarettes makes you very hungry. I think I heard that somewhere.
That was that pizzeria from high school. So there was different pizzerias around there. But then when I got older, of course, when we ordered pizza, we would order from Roberto's Pizzeria because that was right around the corner.
Yes.
From where we lived.
That's proximity has a lot to do with it sometimes, yes.
Yes. But then when we got older, we started branching out.
Right.
Because then people had licenses. Like my brother had his driver's license, so we could jump in the car and we could go to other pizzerias.
That we liked, yes.
Yes. So we would go to 18th Avenue.
Right.
Or you were on 18th Avenue, and we used to, of course, eat Da Vinci pizza.
Yes.
Or there was a pizzeria on 61st Street and 18th Avenue. There was a pizzeria on 64th Street and 18th Avenue. I used to go there for lunch when I worked over there. But we'd get in the car and we'd drive to Coney Island.
Right.
That was like a big thing. Like, oh, we're going to Coney Island for pizza.
Right. And that is what I have to say in my uncultured opinion. Totono's Pizzeria in Coney Island was the best pizza I've ever had, and I've had a lot of pizza.
And they're still open, right?
I think they were open. They closed. They opened. There's a family situation like so many of these restaurants and businesses that
Wasn't a big place.
No, yeah,
Small place. Most of the people took pies out, and they had like a stack of pies that they would take out.
Yes, and what happens is
But you could eat in there.
Yeah, the family changes, and they don't have somebody to take over, and they can't get someone or somebody that works there takes over, and it doesn't happen. I don't know the precise details of what happened.
I saw something on Instagram lately.
Yes.
But not only, so what we would do, so sometimes we went there just to get pizza and bring it home.
Yes.
Sometimes we stayed there, and sometimes we paired it with the Cyclone.
Yes.
And we would do the Cyclone first before, and then go get pizza.
Yeah, you don't want to eat before you get on a Cyclone. Yes, that Cyclone is, of course, a roller coaster in Coney Island.
And my brothers say, "You got to keep your arms up. You got to keep your arms up." We're in the first car. You're going to keep your arms up. I'm like, "No, I'm holding on." You're going to keep your. He had his arms up in the air, waving until we went over. He slammed his hands down, and he's like, "Hold on." And I'm like, "Yep, I'm holding on." We would sit in the first car, the last car. We would do all the crazy.
Yeah, so Totono's
and then you go for pizza.
Was just about the best, but a close second was the House of Pizza and Calzone on Union Street.
I must agree.
And I've taken Lisa there many times. We took her granddaughter there. She loved it.
The Sicilian Square is the best Sicilian. And I thought Da Vinci was number one.
Right.
House of Pizza beats everyone on Sicilian.
Yeah, their pizza was great. And
even
then
L&B, everyone.
And
House of Pizza wins in my world.
And I loved House of Pizza's pizza, but what I also loved, and because when I was a kid I would eat like a voracious animal, I would get one of their deep fried calzones with ham and mozzarella. It was the best.
Wow, I can't even imagine that.
I remember a story that Barbara Streisand used to order like 20 calzones to put when she was doing Funny Girl on Broadway. I heard that at that time in the 60s and or whatever the big show she was in. And then she loved their calzone so much she ordered it and have it come there. And it was across the street from the Pinel store, as we had talked about before.
It just popped into my Avenue U. There was a pizzeria on the west side, one of the west streets. There was a pizzeria that made such a good margarita.
Right.
That just popped into my head.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
know. I'm going to keep thinking of all different.
Right. So you would go to a different place for what they had. So you can't go into the pizzeria on the House of Pizza.
I don't even think we're going to. This might have to have a part two.
Yeah. Yes. Well, we went into the House of Pizza when we were kids. What we used to do, like me and my buddy, we would go and we get 2 slices of drink, and then we would split a calzone and cut it in half, and each eat half. Of course, you would argue, oh, you got too much cheese, you got all the ham, all of that nonsense. And you get in a
But
fist fight.
There were rice balls too. There were
Yeah,
other
I never
things.
ordered a rice bowl there because
Not in that place.
no,
but
across the street in the Pinell store, you would get the rice bowls. The problem with the Pinell store, it just took too long to sit
That's
there.
why I'm saying in pizzerias they had calzones, they had rice bowls, they had other things.
Yeah, they had stromboli, they had rice
Yes.
balls, they had all of that stuff. And then all of a sudden, as time went on, they started to come out with these more esoteric. When I was a kid, they didn't have all of this stuff. They didn't have grandma pies. They didn't have.
Pizza, pepperoni was the only
well,
really.
They had pepperoni. They had four things.
I don't even remember young getting pepperoni. I think
Yeah,
it was
we
just
couldn't
cheese.
afford it. It was extra.
Sauce and cheese.
Right, but they would have pepperoni, mushroom, alich, and
Olives?
no,
Were
alich
olives
is
around back then? I don't remember.
no, that was nobody put olives on their pizza back then. No.
Yeah.
That all of that came in later, and when they started to diversify and they
Now
wanted
there's broccoli. There's
right,
whatever.
there's chicken pie, there's like a grandma pie. Everybody has a grandma pie with. Then they have the white pizza with no sauce.
I remember when the white pizza came out.
It was like
and
a new
it was
thing.
popular, and
Yeah.
everyone wanted to try it.
Well, I could.
So you wouldn't just get the white pizza; you would get a regular slice
Right.
and a white pizza slice.
Right. Well, some people, the acidity of the sauce would bother them, so they wouldn't order. They
I don't
like
know
the
why-
white pie.
What was the history of that? That just came out of nowhere. And I remember
It's marketing.
everybody
It's
loving
marketing. People, everything's about pizza is marketing. For instance,
Mm-hmm.
when you talk about famous pizzerias, everybody raves about Grimaldi's, which is crap in my opinion. So
I'm
there's
not
a
going to wait on that tour.
there's a line down the block to get into this joint. When you could go to the House of Pizza,
But
walk
isn't
right
there
in.
a whole like fight?
It's a
with
mystique.
Tortoni's, like
No, there was another one, not Grimaldi's, a different one that the guy that worked there.
Tortono's and Grimaldi's. There's a connection to that.
I think that the guy that worked at Totona's might have went and started Grimaldi's. I'm not sure,
There
but
was some connection. I
some
don't
connection. I
remember.
forget what the details of it was, but it's because it was in Brooklyn Heights, down by Fulton Landing. It got all of these writers and famous people would praise it, just like Locali in Brooklyn now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I was reading a great Facebook group which I belong to, which is We Lived on Court Street. Okay, which is great, talking about the old days. And
Right.
one guy wrote a post and he said, "This is nonsense when everybody talks about how great Locali's is, which is it's a good pizzeria, and it's always, but all of a sudden it's always in the top 10 of the greatest ones in the country." And he's
I
saying,
mean, we had it.
Yeah.
It was good. We enjoyed
"It's a
it,
regular
but I
Brooklyn slice
wouldn't put
prepared
it-
correctly." That's what's the difference. Most
It was
pizzerias,
a pie. You can't get a slice of Lucali.
right? Well, it's a regular pizza prepared correctly. Okay, like all the ones that we grew up on in the neighborhood. Unfortunately, many of those places are closed, or have people working there that don't know what they're doing.
Right.
You get a crap pizza. It's prepared correctly, and that's everybody loves it, and it became very famous because famous people started going there, like
Beyonce.
Frankie's 457 or whatever the hell it was. All of a sudden, they had great publicity, and all of a sudden, people would go there and they're saying this is the greatest thing ever. It's not. It was what was normal in the neighborhood, but it's one of the last vestiges of what regular pizza was. Now, another guy that had a pizza that was on the pizza tour was Sam's Pizza. And Louis was a friend of mine from when we were kids, and we had a big beef. And I didn't go in there for like 20 years. And recently,
Did he have a gas oven?
he had a gas oven, but he made it traditionally with old school Polly-O cheeses and red pack tomatoes. That's what I grew up on as a
Right.
kid. That's what everybody had. You had Polly-O and red pack. That's it. And Manzoni macaroni, but that's another story. But when you were living as a Brooklyn immigrant child, that's what you got. It wasn't like, oh, you got Progresso. What are you, rich? You got you got Celentino. Where'd you get the money for that? You always got the stuff in G&G's that you could get the red pack tomatoes and the Polly-O stuff. But when I got Polly-O in California, the guy wanted like $30 for a container of ricotta. I said, "What is this?"
Yeah.
What?
I don't know what's up with that.
I said, "Lisa, I'm going to smuggle this in like cocaine on a freaking plane and sell it on the street
Get your
corner."
ricotta here.
Yeah, exactly.
Fresh ricotta
I got a whole
here.
kilo of ricotta. I mean, it's ridiculous. But so Sam's had great pizza. But he, as usual, he was a little irascible. He was upset with the people that had moved into the neighborhood. And a couple of things happened when we were actually there. He only allowed so many people. He owned the building. He didn't care. But recently, I think he wasn't feeling well, and the place was closed for a while, and people were freaking out. Oh, they're going to close another place going out? And then he went on Instagram or Facebook or whatever and said, I'm going to retire. And he's my age. He's probably going to be close to 70 because we were in the same class, and he's some other person took it over, just as someone took over Fernando's and in Union Street, and he's making up pineapple sandwiches as well, but he's changing it. So I'm sure she's going to change it. It's not going to be the same as the old Sam's, but I'm sure it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because they have the ovens and they make it. Now, one time a friend of ours decided, they said, "Oh, Jim, I'm going to take you a pizza tour, and we're going to teach you all about pizza." And I said, "You're going to teach me about pizza? I don't really think that's going to work because I think I know a little bit about pizza, but sure, why not?" So where did they take us? They took us to Lombardi's on the first spot. And that was when they still had the coal fire at 3032 Spring Street. And we went there, and the guy gave a little talk. He had like a school bus, and you meet at a certain point.
We're on a yellow school bus.
Yeah. Or actually, it wasn't even that. You know what it was, Lisa? It was the short bus.
No, it was
yes, it was a small school bus.
It was not. It was a large school bus. I have pictures.
Okay. I remembered it as the short bus. All right. Well, anyway, we got to Lombardi's, and then he told us all about coal-fired pizza, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Then we went to a place in 2nd Avenue who's not there anymore. I forget the name of it, and it was wood-fired pizza.
Right. He was trying it. We were tasting all different types of pizza, cheese on top, sauce on top.
Yes. So we went to that place. It was okay. And you only got like a slice of pizza. You know, it's got going on a wine tasting. Do you ever go on a wine tasting and they have a flight of wines and you get a zip of wine and you're supposed to spit it out? Right? It's not my favorite thing to do. I want to have a glass of wine. I want to have a glass of wine. I'll taste 3 instead of 10 and have a full glass and really know what the glass is all about.
Yes.
Right. Just as an aside, on our honeymoon, we went on a wine tasting.
Yes, we did.
And what happened was...
we went to the Champagne.
Yes. But the concierge hooked me up. He was from Brooklyn. And he said... not Brooklyn. He was from the Bronx, I guess. Whatever it was. This was in San Francisco. So he says, yeah, you're going to... we didn't go to Napa. We went to Simona, which I think is closer than Napa. Mm-hmm. And he said, yeah, don't go on the big one that they offer that's really cheap with the bus because you're not going to have any fun. Go on this one. He only takes like 10, 12 people in a small little bus, and you'll have a lot more fun.
That's when we met the 2 retired...
Army people.
Weren't they both like sergeant majors?
They were both sergeant majors, a man and a woman. So if you guys... once again, I'm talking about obscure old guy stuff. But if you ever read the comic strip Beetle Bailey, Sergeant Snorkel and his girlfriend were like these 2... old-time sergeants, and they knew everything.
We had so much.
So the guy's name was Gus. So I got on set and I said, Gus, what is this nonsense? What are we doing here? And he said, I don't know. I don't like this. I said, no, me either. I said, this is what we're going to do. Every place we go, right, I'll buy 6 bottles at the first place, and you buy 6 bottles at the next place. But we tell them we want full glasses of wine. We don't want a little taste. He said, yeah, that's it. I like that, Jim. Let's do that. So we did that.
That was fun.
By the 3rd winery, we were pretty blitzed. It was a lot of fun, and we had a good time. And then when we got to Champagne, which I didn't like at all because I'm not a fan of champagne, but we were happy because we were already drunk. So we were happy and singing, and we were learning new songs. It was great.
Was it Moet? Is that what?
Moet, yeah. Moet? Is Moet?
I don't know. Sometimes they say you're supposed to say the T, then you're not supposed to. I don't know.
I think it was Mo crap because I didn't like it at all. I'm not a fan of champagne. Lisa loves champagne, not that my taste. So I have an uneducated palate.
Champagne and pizza, I'm very happy.
Not me.
Red wine and pizza, I'm very happy.
No, pizza should be drunk with beer.
If I can,
or a green grape drink.
No, I like wine or champagne with pizza.
Well, I don't even like alcohol. I like the green. I like the purple drink. That's what I want. I'm good enough. But give me
oral. Times have changed.
Yes. Well, no, I think some of the places still have the purple drink.
Pizza now.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Lisa's got to go gluten-free. So now I make pizza all the time. And when we go to a pizzeria...
It makes good pizza.
Yes. When I go to the pizzeria, we go to the pizzeria and order gluten-free. It's almost always a cauliflower crust that everybody has the same one. I have to
shout out to Leah's Pizzeria in Oceanside.
Yes.
They make a very good gluten-free pie.
An amazing gluten-free pie. It's really, really good.
I would rate it number 1.
Yeah, it's the best up to... Spastango used to have the best when they were on 3rd Avenue.
Manhattan now.
Yes.
I'm here in Oceanside.
Well,
I'm shouting out to Leah's as the best pizza on Oceanside.
It could be the best gluten-free pizza in New York for all I know. But the places that I've eaten, it's the best for sure. Mm-hmm. And it was very well made. And most of the other pizzerias, they'll offer gluten-free, but it's always
cauliflower frozen crust that got from somewhere.
Well, but Fefeli's actually makes a decent pie.
They made it good too.
which is on the corner of our house. And that's like talking about proximity. So Fefeli's is a pizzeria on the corner of our house on Merrick Road. And what happens is it's only 2 blocks away. So if I'm going to get pizza, I'm going to go there. Even though Leah's pizza is probably better, I'm not going to drive 10 minutes to get there. You know, when I was a kid, I lived on Tompkins Place in Brooklyn. And it was a pizzeria on the corner of DeGraw and Court. And it was called Tom's Pizzeria. Now, once to go back to that Facebook group that I was talking about, this guy put up a post and he says, I hate all these people that tell their memories and they get it wrong. They get the people wrong that work there. They don't know what they're talking about. No, people have different memories and your memories are hazy, right? But as I recall, I could be wrong, and if somebody's listening to this and wants to correct me, I'll be very happy to hear it. It was called Tom's Pizzeria. Okay, it was on the corner of the Grove. My father was a friend with the guy who owned it, but at that one time, for a short period, it was owned by an Irish guy,
Wow.
Tom Donahue. And I said, why would you want to have an Irish guy? No,
Is that was John's Pizzeria?
Yes, Sal's Pizzeria. Actually,
Sal.
John is the guy's name. Sal is the name of the pizzeria. So,
But it's closed now anyway.
it's closed, as I understand. But what happened was, Tom Donahue was, I think the son-in-law took over, right? Because the family was Irish and Italian, and then he got married, and then he took over, and he would have pizza. It was okay, it was pretty good, but it wasn't anywhere near the House of Pizza or any of the other places.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was, because it was a block away, we would go there, just like Fefeli for us, you know. We might like somebody else's pizza, but we're not going to travel to get it to it. That's the key about pizza. You want to get it while it's still hot, piping hot.
Unless you're going as a destination.
Right, but to go back to my top 3, all right?
If we go to Leah's, we're gonna eat the pizza there.
Yeah, it's great pizza. Yeah, it's wonderful. But what we went to, although ownership has changed, so we'll have to see. We haven't been there since the owners changed, so we have to see.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Now, the third place that I want to talk about, what did we talk about? The House of Pizza. The one other place that I thought had an excellent pizza.
Well, Coney Island.
Yeah, right. So that's my top 3 were House of Pizza. Tortono's was my number 1, House of Pizza number 2. And number 3 was the Queen's Pizzeria on Court Street.
Oh, that was a good one, Jim.
I think it's between State and Atlantic, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
but
it was
it was
State
it was
and
famous for a
Atlantic.
couple of things. Old school Cobble Hill stuff I'm going to talk about. Lisa has no idea of, okay? The Queen restaurant was on the other side.
But I know what you're talking
Right,
about.
you've
because
been there,
I've
but
gone there.
Right, but I'm going to tell you a little inside information, okay?
Oh, insider information.
So they also had a wonderful restaurant, a great restaurant called the Queen's Restaurant, which was amazing.
How funny was it that the maitre d' at that restaurant, I knew him.
Right, from Bensonhurst.
Yes.
Right.
Because I used to take his bets.
Right, OTB. But so that was an amazing. That was probably the number 1 restaurant
So that's
downtown.
Brooklyn. That
And
was Brooklyn. You were taking me to Queen's Restaurant.
Yes.
And when we walked in, I knew the maitre d'.
Yeah, right, because you always know somebody usually, right?
You
Or you
know?
grew up with somebody, or some guy that you used to go to school with is working there, or
Right.
whatever, you know.
That's Brooklyn.
Or their father works there, whatever the deal was. But Queen's Restaurant, this is the thing I was going to try and talk about. In between Queen's Restaurant and Queen's Pizzeria was a movie theater.
Yeah.
And what was famous about that movie theater? It was a porno movie theater.
Nice.
Lisa doesn't want me to say that word because we're going to be blocked by
I'm pressing the
YouTube.
mute button right now.
But here's the thing. You had to watch at the time you went to eat at the Queen's Pizzeria. You didn't want to go in when the show let out.
Oh, my.
Because the guys would come out of the place and then get pizza. And it's like,
glad that changed
I
before
want
I
to go
came.
I want to go in the afternoon. I don't want to come into the late night crowd.
Well, we would go to Barnes & Noble.
And we would go to the pizzeria.
And
yes.
then we would go to the pizzeria. How much fun was that? You go buy a whole bunch of books, and then you go to the pizzeria.
And what was great about it, whenever I was on jury duty, only a couple of times I was on jury duty because they never want me for a jury. But I think once or twice I
The
was
last
on.
time I went to jury duty, I got pink eye.
I understand. You have to mention that every time.
Every time. Because why did she come? She should have stayed home instead of putting her stuff everywhere. It was very annoying.
But you could
I looked at her constantly at what she was touching, so I wouldn't touch anything she touched.
you could walk from the courthouse to the pizzeria. It was only a couple of blocks away, and it was great. And all the lawyers used to go there too, and they would go to Queen's Restaurant as well. So you would always see a lot of lawyers and judges and stuff. Just as
But
a
it
lot.
had like a back room too.
Yes, it was a great
So
place.
you just, there were just tables in the front when you first walked in, but then there was like an L, and then there was a big room in the back.
Yeah, then the ownership changed, and it was a pain in the ass because then the way they set it up, it was difficult, and you were arguing with the guys at the counter. They weren't as nice as they were. whatever. It was still really good pizza. And that was another one that I loved. So when we went on this pizza tour, so the guy, to go back to that quickly, he took us to Lombardi's. He took us to the place in Second Area. We went to a place in your neighborhood. I forget the name of it.
We went to Da Vinci on 18th Avenue.
Da Vinci, right?
Oh, wait. Did we go to the one on 64th Street?
I think we went to the one on 64th Street, maybe.
Because I love that pizzeria.
Yeah. Right.
I don't remember.
Do you remember the name of the one that has the revolving rack that has all the pizzas on it and it changed? I forget the name of it. That's in Bensonhurst, too. I forget the name of that place. Somebody could write the name of it on it. It had like a revolving big pizza oven, and it had slots, and it would turn very slowly. It was almost like Next Level Chef.
And we went there for the tour?
No, we didn't go there for the tour. We had gone there to get pizza, though.
Oh, okay.
When we were living over in your old apartment.
I think we hit 2 places in Bensonhurst.
No, it was only, we went to 4 altogether. We went to Lombardi's, the place on Second Avenue in the city that had the wood fire. We went to that place in Bensonhurst. And then
we went to L&B.
No, we didn't go to L&B.
We went to L&B.
That was on our pizza tour, which I didn't get to. The one in the bus, we came back to Brooklyn and we went to Sam's.
Then we went to Sam's.
Right? So
then we made our own pizza tour.
Right.
That's right.
Because our son-in-law had never really had.
He never had a rice bowl.
Right. Brooklyn pizza. So we said, we're taking you on our own pizza tour. So we went to Tono's. We went to L&B.
Mm-hmm.
I think we went. I think that's the only places we went.
Then we went to Red Rose.
We went to Red Rose.
Because he never had a rice bowl.
Right. Went to Red Rose for a rice bowl. And then we went to the
Valentino Park.
We went to the ice to get ice cream. No, we went to the Fulton Ferry. Fulton.
Then we went to Valentino Park.
Right.
To see the Statue of Liberty.
We went all around.
We did our own tour.
We had
involved a lot of food.
Right.
Pizza.
But this pizza store, we get off the bus and Louis there, and he says, "Hey, what are you doing here?" So, like I said, I hadn't been in there in like 20 years, maybe. He says, I can't curse, I guess, on this, but he says, "What the F did you do coming here? You live around the block, you had to come on a bus." I said, "Hey, no problem. I get everybody to go on a bus and we'll go to the House of Pizza." It's not, no, never mind. I'm sorry. Come on in. Let's go. So then we sort of let bygones be bygones, right? And we started to go there every once in a while, but we went there 3 times and then it blew up again.
Yeah. It didn't last
we said
that
we
long.
can't, we couldn't do it.
It didn't last that long.
We couldn't do it. So that's just the way it is. You have less tolerance as you get older, I guess. So we were talking about the different types of pizzerias and pizzas we loved, and every place you go, when you're a kid, you love pizza, but then
it's like a safe place. I feel a pizzeria should be like a safe place.
Yeah, sanctuary.
Yes.
Exactly.
And no matter where you go, if you're going to get something to eat quick, get a pizza.
Now, what happens is we don't want to go out or it's cold or whatever, so people get frozen pizzas, and there's different types of frozen pizzas. Now, it's not the end of the world to get a frozen pizza. It's not as good as a regular pizza. Absolutely not. It's as good as some of the corporate pizzas that you could order delivered, like Domino's, if you can get a good quality frozen pizza. And what I do is when I get the pizza,
and you jazz it up a little.
Jazz it up. I put pepperoni on it. I'll put fresh mushroom on it. But we've been doing really well with gluten-free by getting the gluten-free crust at Trader Joe's, and then I roll it out and I make pizza there. It's great. Now, I'm not going to go into all of the different types of pizza. We could talk about that. Like Chicago deep dish pizza is an abomination, but people think it's great. I think if you love it, you should have it. God bless. It's not for me. Okay, I'm not a deep dish kind of guy.
Right.
But you see pizza shows up on TV and in pop culture all the time.
Home Alone.
Right.
Kevin's cheese pizza. He orders pizza, right? Wasn't that like the famous "keep the change, you filthy animal"? Like everybody knows that.
Right. And then, of course, Saturday Night Fever, famously.
I was working on 86th Street when they were filming that day.
Right. And
they did the double pizza.
Yeah, famously, they did that. And
double folds, like.
Yes.
Nobody really eats it like that. That was just for the movie.
I actually I'm going to tell you a movie that I thought was amazing. That was great.
I thought you were going to say you saw someone eat double pizza.
Oh, I've seen that many times. But that.
Really?
Yeah, it's what's called the Garvone slice. Like there's the Sopranos, the obligatory Sopranos mention.
Yeah.
I was just seeing on the internet that they offer the special Tony Soprano sandwich, which is the gabagool, the mozzarella, and the vinegar peppers, and they said that's Tony Soprano, right? So
Buddy.
I saw the greatest thing ever was there's this movie called The Green Book, and it's the story of a mafia guy Leo DeLip that
Yes.
drove this piano player guy around the South because he was a black guy and he was going to be hitting a lot of prejudice. So he said the only way the record company says, I'm going to send him with a mafia guy or a mafia adjacent guy. He wasn't actually in the mafia, but he was
like a bodyguard.
Well, he was a doorman at the Copa, and the Copa was being fixed for renovations or something, and they hired him, and he was a big burly guy. He actually had going back to The Sopranos, he played Carmine Lupatazzi on The Sopranos, that actual guy that they made the movie about. But anyway, in one scene, he orders a pizza, and he folds the entire pizza in half, and he eats it. I'm saying, that's the greatest thing I ever seen. I never thought of that. I want to do that, Lisa. Let's do that. You know, I recently saw one that was a little over the top. This guy goes into Costco. He orders a Costco slice.
Oh, you told me about
Then
that.
he orders a hot dog. He takes the hot dog out of the bun. He puts the pepper, whatever condiments they had, ketchup, mustard, pickles, relish, onions. He folds the pizza slice over and he eats it. I'm saying, okay, that doesn't look appetizing in the least.
No.
Sometimes
That's
people
not
get
pizza.
crazy, you know?
That's not pizza.
So then they had the famous Do the Right Thing revolved around, and Spike Lee did have his finger on the culture of the intersection between the African American and the Italian culture in Brooklyn. There was a lot of byplay with that, and pizzerias were everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And just as like the takeout Chinese places are too. That's another thing that they had. But pizzerias were ubiquitous, as they say. It's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Mystic Pizza, I didn't really care for that show. I thought it was stupid. I looked at my phone while that was on.
I liked it. Move on.
Okay. Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Well,
the
they
guy
had the pizza delivered to the
the
classroom.
pizza, yes.
I mean,
which is funny because he was in California, so it was probably a pineapple. Talk about things that are horrible.
yes. I don't understand pineapple on a pizza. I'm never going to taste it. I have no desire to taste it. I don't want to know anything about it. I don't know where
I
it
think
came
that
from.
makes you a focaccia. Look, you can make a flatbread and put a lot of stuff on it. That's fine. And in fact, our favorite gluten-free place that we went to in the city, Bastango, stopped making pizzas and started making flatbread pizzas. That's what we had there. It was flatbread. Mm-hmm. And you could order a lot of toppings, and it's not technically a pizza, so I guess it's okay if you put other things on it. It's fine. You know, if that's what...
You know, like, is there a definition for the word pizza?
Yes, it's...
You know, Brooklyn pizza has its own definition.
Right. Right, and people stand on it, and I understand that it seems very parochial, and you're saying, oh, it's not Brooklyn pizza.
Right, but there's deep dish. There's
Deep
thin
dish is
crust.
Chicago. Yeah.
There's all different types.
There's Detroit
of
pizza.
pizzeria.
There's all different types. And I like what I like because that's what I grew up with. I say this to Lisa all the time. When
But
someone,
I'm very happy that I grew up with Brooklyn pizza because it's the best.
right. Now, the city guy from Barstool Sports, he has a whole thing that he just goes to different pizzerias and tries out pizza and talks about it. But I don't like him, so I don't really watch his thing. But what happens is people love what they grew up with. I always, when you see Time Out in New York and they make a list, what do? They say the 10 top pizzerias.
Yeah, they're lazy.
Right. They'll pick.
They go like what's in their neighborhood.
Right. Well, right. They'll put the one in their neighborhood, and then they'll write 5 that everybody knows, and then they put the one that's in their neighborhood. You know, and they say, oh, it's the best. Well, it's what you're used to, and you like it. That's fine. No one is telling you not to. But
it's not the real top 10 ever.
no,
It's not the way.
if I was going to recommend you guys to get pizza, obviously L&B Spumoni Gardens in Bensonhurst, the House of Pizza and Calzone in Red Hook, right? And I guess you could go to Locali, but it's very crowded,
Just
and
go to Coney Island
it's
and
not
make a
worth
day
it.
of
If
it.
Totona's is still open, which I don't even know,
I'm pretty sure it is.
that's the place to go. If I was going to recommend go,
Make a day out of it.
Go
Go
there.
to Coney Island.
Yeah.
Go on a couple of rides. After before, or I don't know. Spread it out. What is it? You have to wait an hour before you go on the beach. Maybe you have to wait an hour before you go on the cyclone.
maybe. So Lisa made a little list here because she loves to make lists.
Yes.
What's the best type of pizza? Fresh, cold, reheated, folded,
Check.
with cheese, without
Check.
cheese?
Check.
Now, my friend John had the pizzeria that used to be Tom's that then became called Sal's, and his family took it over, and I was friendly. We were friends, and he had all these signs because he was a neighborhood guy like me. He couldn't take the new people that moved into the neighborhood. And what did they want? They wanted Parmesan cheese to put on a pizza. And I never heard of that.
I don't get that.
I don't get it either.
Because it's a different taste.
Yeah, you're changing the pizza altogether. And why would you want to put cheese on pepperoni? Parmesan cheese and pepperoni. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't get it.
I think the reason why is because these people that moved from Kansas or Connecticut or wherever they came from.
Wait. When we get a piece of Locatelli cheese, a
Yes.
block,
Yes.
and we use the grater, and you
Yes.
put it on the macaroni, or
Right.
you put it on whatever, they're used to Parmesan cheese in a can. That
Right.
plastic, well,
Kraft.
whatever, that came in a container that's
Correct.
on the shelf. It's not in the refrigerator.
Yes, they're animals,
So,
basically.
so their taste, but what I'm saying is they're used to that. I don't think there's a pork store in Kansas that they used to go get a piece of
Right.
Locatelli cheese.
Correct. So, but what
So
happened?
they're used to the Kraft in the container, so that taste being put on the pizza.
I know our prejudice is showing, but we're right. Okay.
No,
So,
I'm just saying what you said.
yeah.
That what they're used to, what they're familiar with.
Yes.
I'm saying, I'm trying to wrap my head around.
I think
why
I have
they
an
would
explanation.
Put Parmesan cheese on their pizza.
Give you an explanation because they're used to eating frozen pizzas. Okay, and what they would do is that would give it a little flavor. So their mother maybe
And
put
it's
some of that
also
Kraft cheese on
the
it.
Kraft cheese that came in the container
Correct.
on the shelf.
Right.
They didn't put in the refrigerator.
Right.
That cheese.
Yes.
I don't even know if it's real.
The cheese that has the same lifespan as uranium isotopes, basically, right? So what happens is that's what those people
I'm not
did.
making fun of it. What I'm trying to do is wrap my head around why
Yes.
they would want that taste on their pizza.
Because they're idiots and they're
Because
morons.
they're used to it. That's
Right.
what they were able to get.
Yeah, and that's fine. But
Locatelli wasn't available, or maybe a good fresh mozzarella wasn't available.
my friend, as he got more angry and eccentric, he would have all these handwritten signs like, "Don't ask for a glass of water.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Don't ask for cheese. We don't give you cheese. You could pay for it, but I'm not going to give you, Locatelli cheese is very expensive, or even Parmesan cheese for that matter is expensive.
Right, because he wasn't giving Kraft out.
Well, back in the day when you used to walk into the pizzeria, right? Even on the place over here on the corner for Fellies, they'll have
A little shaker of
cheese
of the what do you call
and
it?
the red pepper
The
flakes
red pepper flakes
and
the cheese,
salt and pepper, cheese, maybe some
I never
basil,
touched any
some
of those
oregano. I like a little. I put red pepper and oregano on my pizza actually to give it a little flavor because the flavor a lot of the pizzeria is a little bland to me from what I grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
So when they make the sauce, it wasn't heavy with the basil. I like a sauce that's heavy with basil. So I would put, and I like oregano. I love oregano.
Making sauce in the summer with the fresh basil that's
Right.
growing in the backyard is the best.
So I love, and shout out to Ellen that gave me some fresh tomatoes. I made a fresh tomato sauce with just tomatoes and garlic
was
and oil.
good.
It was delicious.
We're going off topic.
Sorry.
See
So
what
grandma pizza, white pizza, I can take it or leave it. It's not something I'm going to order.
I don't like sausage on my pizza.
Occasionally I'll have sausage.
I just don't want meat on my pizza.
I like sausage when it's the pork opened up, not slices of sausage.
Yeah, but I don't want meat on my pizza.
I'll eat it
That's
occasionally.
why I don't like a meat lasagna.
Yeah,
I like lasagna that doesn't have the meat. That's just my taste.
I would occasionally get sausage and meat and sausage and what do you call it? Mushrooms. Okay, pepperoni. I would just have pepperoni. That's it. You wouldn't add anything to that. It doesn't need anything else.
Right.
And when we make pizza at home, we always put pepperoni on it.
Unless
gives
we
it-
put mushrooms, fresh
Well,
mushrooms.
fresh mushrooms. I make fresh mushrooms. Yes.
That's really good.
But that takes work. I have to cut the mushrooms up. I have to saute them on the side and whatever.
Right, you just don't throw them on raw.
Yeah, you don't get them for the can.
No,
Disgrazia.
they're fresh mushrooms that
Disgrazia.
you cut up.
Right. So we went over a lot of the different types of pizzas, and we're almost at an hour right now. So Lisa is very correct. We need to do it.
Lucali, we just have to. I want to just mention that in book 2,
Yes,
Lucali's is in book 2.
hold it a second. Any resemblance to the actual locales is just a coincidence. If you read the front of the book, any resemblance to the owners, purveyors, the actual physical location is
And
just a
stories
coincidence.
attached to them.
And it's not, and any stories attached to them are just a coincidence. It's not true. And don't rely on it as factual because it's not. It's just our imagination
Correct.
and what we imagine. Okay, because we've only went to Lucali just a couple of times.
Yeah, it's just from my memory what I remembered.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Right. So,
now that we got that straight,
but it's in book 2, The Brooklyn Witch.
there is a really a Lucali-like pizzeria
type
in
of
book
place,
2.
yes, as we described it. What book 2?
But you know this.
We're in the midst of book
Food
2.
was in book 1.
Yes.
Food's in book 2. So
Yes, in book 2.
don't read hungry.
Right. We're
Have a slice of pizza before you read the book.
Lisa's in the midst of book 2, and I'm helping her edit it, and there's a lot of stuff in it, and it's a really good book, and I know you guys are going to love it. We're pushing to get it out as soon as we can, but I can't say exactly when that's going to be, but we're working really hard on it. But we have everything else. Lisa had an amazing event at the Elmont Library that went great.
That was unbelievable.
Shout out to those guys, and Steve and Sonia did a great job. So we're going to try and yes,
Thank you.
we're going to try and get to other places if we can possibly do
We're
that as
setting
well.
that up.
So
Well, back to pizza.
back to pizza. So in conclusion,
Fold it or forget it.
yes,
That's what I have to say. No knife and fork with a pizza.
knife and fork shows you that you don't know.
Especially not a slice. And you know what? Your hands are going to get dirty.
Well,
They're going to get sauce on them. That's pizza.
because it's food, it's love, it's life. You want to get your hands on it. You want to eat it. You don't want to. It's not like something pristine that you're not going to touch. You have to have pizza. You have to love pizza. Pizza is life.
I just want to ask you one question
What's that?
because I didn't get to ask you this. If you could eat one last slice of pizza from any pizzeria, it doesn't matter if it was closed, it's magically going to come to you, where would it be?
I would get a slice from Totono's in Coney Island.
You get the whole pie there. They don't do
Yeah, well,
slices.
yes, but you said if I could only have a slice, that's what
Okay.
I'd have.
All
know?
right, so technically,
Well, but if I couldn't get that, House of Pizza in Calzone, no problem.
for me, it's House of Pizza. If I didn't have to worry about gluten, I want a Sicilian corner piece. Oh, but you know what? Not even a corner. Only one side crust.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that. Just a quick aside, there
Because
was
you used to be able to pick what
Yeah.
piece you wanted out of the pie.
right.
The round
I
pie,
still do that.
Yeah, but the round pie, it's everybody gets the same triangle.
Right.
The Sicilian pie, do you want a corner piece? Do you want a center piece with no ends? I like one end because I want that one bit of crunch and I want to be able to hold on to the end part.
Yeah, I get it.
So I like one end.
Lisa likes crunch, and also there's the
And
argument.
they had a very nice crunch at the bottom of their Sicilian.
Right. And the other
It was doughy and then crunch on the bottom.
and one thing I want to mention is the crust. Right. You eat the pizza. I hate people that eat pizza
And leave the crust.
and leave the crust.
what,
you know?
what are you doing?
In the family, I go around and collect everybody's crusts and eat them.
No, you don't.
I do, Lisa. You don't
Not
watch me.
Now?
Well, some of the family, not at certain people, I won't do it with. But
I'm not
if you
ready-
leave the
what are you, a
crust,
gavon?
yes. If you leave the crust, I'd eat it. If your mother left the crust, I'd eat it.
All
You know?
right, let's
Okay.
leave it there.
Okay. You got to eat the crust. All right.
All right, so just this episode wasn't just about reviewing pizza, as you
It
can
was
tell.
an exercise in
we had some
nostalgia.
memories attached to the pizza.
And talk about Brooklyn and
you know,
all that
everybody
kind of stuff.
remembers the people they hung out with.
Yeah, the
maybe
people that are gone
conversations they
and all the
had,
places you went.
You know,
you know?
The moments they shared around a pizza pie,
Yes.
and that kind of makes pizza magical.
Yes. I love pizza. Pizza is life, as I said.
So until next time, keep laughing,
Keep reading.
keep the conversation going. We'll see you on the next episode of Life According to Lisa.
And Jim, too.
Same stoop.
Different magic. See you guys. Take care.
Bye-bye.